Throughout history, the beliefs and narratives of our forebears have been transmitted down throughout our generations, shared through oral tradition and cultural practices. Hello, my name is Bruce, and I am the creator of the Country Video channel on YouTube. Over the course of my life, I have had some extraordinary encounters that have bridged the gap between myself and the natural world. Experiences that have profoundly altered my perspectives on life. These moments have led me to a compelling realization. We are not alone in our struggle to survive. The natural world possesses ancient wisdom, truths that humanity has long forgotten. Animals are intelligent beings with their own distinct modes of understanding and communication. Their language transcends the need for words. It is a spiritual connection, an instinctive comprehension that can only be experienced with the heart. My journey began in childhood, when my family relocated to England in the early 1960s. We settled in the village of North Weald, situated near an RAF base steeped in wartime history. This base had once been home to the Spitfire squadrons that bravely defended England during the pivotal Battle of Britain. Amidst those remnants of history, I began to perceive a deeper resonance within the natural world surrounding me. I came to understand that the past is not merely a collection of narratives found in books, but rather an intangible presence, an emotional imprint that has been woven into the very fabric of time itself. In the early 1990s, I relocated to New Hampshire, where a lifelong dream of mine finally came true. And that was the opportunity to personally encounter humpback whales. And during these interactions, my life underwent a transformative change. Several years prior, while swimming in the British Virgin Islands, I had an unforgettable encounter with a bottlenose dolphin. Emerging gracefully from the surf beside me, the dolphin allowed me to extend my hand and touch him. In that moment, an extraordinary connection was established, transcending verbal communication. The unique language shared between us fostered a profound understanding that went beyond words. My subsequent encounters with whales further enriched this connection and deepened my appreciation for these magnificent creatures. Whales have inhabited the oceans since the dawning of time. They are exceptionally intelligent and have their own mode of communication that is truly unique within the animal world. Humpback whales grow to between 45 and 60 feet in length. And when fully grown, they can weigh over 88,000 pounds. One of their most noticeable and distinctive features are their long pectoral fins, which can grow to nearly 15 feet in length, making them relatively the longest flippers of any baleen whale. The name humpback comes from the obvious hump located in front of their small dorsal fin. Compared to those of other whales and dolphins, this dorsal fin is comparatively small and stubby. Their hump becomes distinctly visible when they raise and bend their backs in preparation to dive. As they don't have teeth, it is hard to know how long they actually live for. However, the commonly accepted estimate is that they have a lifespan of between 50 and 80 years. Planet Earth is constantly filled with the messages being sent and received between all living things. Life is truly vibrant in every sense of the word, and their vibrations reverberate throughout all of creation. But whale sounds always seem to be particularly enchanted and shrouded in mystery. In a quieter, more nostalgic era, when a ship's propulsion was provided only through the courtesy of the wind, sailors would tell stories of the intriguing sounds produced from whales as their songs echoed against their wooden hull. And if conditions were calm, and a vessel found itself in close proximity to humpbacks, crews could hear their mysteriously beautiful calls throughout the entire ship. The songs of humpback whales remained almost entirely unheard to the majority of the world until the 1950s. When the US military, who'd begun listening for Russian submarines, were astonished when they realized the strange sounds they were hearing were actually coming from whales. Word of this phenomena eventually reached whale biologist Roger Payne, who set out to record and study these sounds. In 1970, Payne's recordings of humpback whale song were released to the world, becoming an instant sensation. The first thing these recordings did was to spark a global movement to save whales from extinction. Their populations had become so depleted that in 1966 the International Whaling Commission had officially banned the hunting of humpback whales. But whalers of some nations continued killing them in spite of the ban until the mid-1980s, when whale hunting was largely ended as a result of public outcry. Humpbacks and other baleen whales have evolved a specialized voice box that enables them to sing and produce sounds underwater. In fact, the sounds produced by whales are absolutely crucial for their survival, because it's their only way of locating each other within the vastness of the oceans they inhabit. While all humpback whales can vocalize, scientists believe it is primarily the males who sing. When biologists listen to humpback whales, they sort their vocalizations into two different categories: songs and calls. Their songs are highly structured, with smaller repetitive units called phrases being organized into larger themes, which then occur in specific sequences. You can imagine that a humpback song has a structure like unto that of a poem. Each phrase is like a line of the poem, and each theme is like a stanza. When multiple themes are then arranged together in a specific sequence, that is what then becomes the song. The underwater songs of whales usually last up to half an hour in duration. Once the song is completed, it is then repeated numerous times, for hours on end. Unlike songs, calls are relatively short and don't have a repetitive structure. Some of their call types have been associated with feeding or other social behaviors. We now know that the male humpback's strange and haunting songs are a changeable cultural aspect of their species. Each year, all adult males within each of Earth's oceans sing the same song. But in each ocean the song is different. There's a Pacific song, an Atlantic song, and so on. And in each successive year the song of each ocean adapts and changes. But humpback whales don't just sing songs. They actually compose them with the whales around them, singing a song that evolves over time. The song itself is continually evolving, continually changing through time. They are passed from one population to the next, which results in the incorporation of these subtle differences into their own songs as different pods come into contact with each other. During one of my excursions to interact with these amazing creatures, we were 10 miles offshore one sunny afternoon, where we located a pod of humpbacks. Although we maintained our distance, one of these gentle giants came up right beside the boat. His eye was right on a level with my own. I reached out over the rail, and he allowed me to make physical contact with him. And during the time we looked into each other's eyes, I instantly felt a type of unspoken connection with him. An understanding that was almost spiritual in nature. It was an experience whose significance I could not easily dismiss. And that left me with some very important questions. What do these songs actually mean? If they do truly possess meaning, will that meaning ever truly be understood? Are they a highly structured language that has long been forgotten? Do they perhaps carry ancient truths that have been passed down from the beginning of life itself? Or are they just random vocalizations that distinguish them as a species? Either way, it is undeniable that so much significance was given by science that a recording of these songs was included among the few sounds carried aboard the Voyager spacecraft. Humanity's calling card to the galaxy has taken the songs of humpbacks far beyond our solar system into deep space. It was sent out as a type of message in a bottle, hoping, perhaps, that it might eventually reach out to distant alien life who might yet understand their message. In conclusion, please allow me to share with you an experience I had in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. In 1999, I was hunting deep up in the mountains. It had been a very long day, and the light was just beginning to fade. As I walked down the trail reflecting upon the events of the day, a fully mature bull moose silently stepped onto the trail about 10 feet in front of me. Seeing each other, we both became motionless. As our eyes met, my first reaction was one of expectancy in preparation of a hasty retreat. But I noticed something in his eyes as I felt a profound connection of understanding wash over me. And over the next few minutes, as each of us stood our ground, he taught me something I have never forgotten. In his own way, he taught me that all life was something precious and sacred. I realized that all life possessed an inherent right to live. And in that moment I understood that every species on Earth were somehow interconnected and dependent upon one another. So that day I acknowledged that understanding in the only meaningful way I thought he would understand. I unloaded my rifle and then laid it on the ground in front of him. He looked at me for a moment as though he somehow understood, then he turned quietly and walked back into the bush. Over the coming weeks, I gave a great deal of thought and introspection over what had happened. It has been many years since that day, but I have never picked that rifle up with the intent of harming any living thing again.
The natural resources we have been given are by no means inexhaustible. They are ours to manage with understanding and wisdom, to be held respectfully, in sacred trust for all future generations. But if through indifference we continue squandering and exploiting them, they will disappear forever. The responsibility is ours, and the time is now. Therefore, choose life.